Hi again. So, more review of my first year with tarot study. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the deck modifications that I did in my first year. Some hits, some misses, some, a little of both. But I'm going to start with my strong stuff. And the strong stuff is these two mermaid decks that I did. Very, very happy with the way these came out. I did not trim them at all. I just edged the borders, or edged them. All right. With these two decks, with this one, I chose multiple colors, and I tried to follow the gradation of this color on the back, which I'm very happy with the way that came out. I think it looks really good both with the front but especially with the back. I just think that came out great. Really happy with that one. And then with this one, I just mixed different cards, different colors. I tried to make it sort of even with greens and blues and a little bit of yellows. And also, I think this one came out pretty good. I like it, both sides. With these edges, I use Copic markers. This is what Copic markers look like. They are alcohol-based markers. They dry pretty fast, but they also blend really, really well. So if you wanted to get sort of a gradation of color, these are good to use. Also, with the Copic markers, I did this deck, the Druidcraft, which everybody knows this thing is huge. So I did trim it so I could handle it a little bit more easily. I liked what Dawn Michelle did. I'm going to link that video below, but it was just more than I could take on. So I just trimmed here because I wanted the backs to look uniform, or as uniform as possible. I mean, when I did the corners, I lost a little bit of the edge, but I can live with that. And with this one, I sort of waffled back and forth, gold, brown, green, what to do. And I kind of picked this, well, didn't kind of, I did. I picked this color. Let's see if it, come on, focus. It doesn't want to focus. Okay, it's called olive. It's pale olive. And I like it because it picks up a color in this border and just sort of brings it around the side. And I feel like it looks sort of mossy and earthy, and I thought that was a good vibe for the Druidcraft. Okay, now let's go with the good, bad, and the ugly. Let's choose something that borders on ugly, although I tried to have no regrets. So this is the Arcana of Astrology deck, and it was just, I wasn't getting a message from this. I don't know enough about astrology. Like, I could get absolutely zero, nothing from this deck unless I looked at the book all the time. So I said, oh, I know, I'll just write some keywords on this. And to do that, I chose these Craftsmart oil-based pens. And, well, I like myself, but my handwriting is, well, you can tell, I teach children, right? So, yeah, anybody could read those things, even a 5-year-old. So I wasn't really thrilled. It doesn't look sophisticated, but it does make it easier for me to use the deck. Still didn't love it, and as a result didn't really finish that project. Still haven't done this, so I think I'll go back one day. All right. Okay, another big win. This, The Way of the Warrior. So this came with a book, a journal book that I got from Ben and Bell Wynn, my 2021 journal. And this was a PDF that you could print out and assemble yourself. So this is an oracle, and what you have to do is you print these things out. I chose yellow paper, and you assemble it. So here's my box top, here's my box bottom. Very cool, right? And then you print out these cards, which I had mixed results with the cards because I think it was the cardstock and my printer didn't always pull evenly, so sometimes it didn't exactly go even, and then other times it's fine, like this card. And I chose to edge these in red for symbolic reasons. So with this one, you pull it just like you would any other Oracle card, but then it fits in the box nice and neat. And you can do this, right? Set that down. And then these things can work as a little mini portable altar. So you can use it that way and make your little altar. So I thought that was just the best. Honestly, it took me several hours to do it, but I'm very happy to have it, I should say. Okay, one that didn't come out so great. My apologies. This is an out of print deck, and I know there'll be some people are going to clutch their pearls on this one. All I can say is this was very early in my journey. I tried to give it a weathered look. I used these. These are called Boardmate. They're an Elmer's product. And I used a mix of colors. I put a blue or a red underneath, and then I did a mix of colors to edge it, and I did all the corners with silver. I'm not sure why I thought that was a good idea exactly, but that's what I did. And then I wanted the fronts of these cards to look weathered, but still be smooth. I didn't want to crunch them or anything. So I took an ink pad and I just sort of did this to give it some texture. And that came out, that was a pretty mixed result. But they do look weathered and uneven, which is what I was going for. You know, ancestor stuff. I didn't want it to look like it just came off the printing press today. So that's what happened. I know some people would hate it, but that happened. Okay, this was another deck that I had purchased a long time ago, but never did anything with, the Shadowscapes. And with this one, I just took this Elmer's Boardmate and I just did silver. And it took me, I think, 3 coats maybe to make it totally even and not have any irregularities. And I'm super happy with the way this came out. And I actually enjoy this deck more. Definitely enjoy it more now that I've edged it. Okay, here's another one that I like the way it came out. And this one I'm going to talk about Crayola markers. So I use the Crayola markers because these are such nice bright colors. I felt that edging it called for bright colors. And I just decided to go, I guess I like this now that I'm thinking about this, right? So I did something very similar with these two. But these, I did not use Copic. These, I just used these Crayola markers because I wanted a bright uniform color. And then I just sort of divided the cards in irregular piles so that it would just be a mix of colors. The only thing I would say is these do go on pretty evenly. They're nice. Just make sure you don't get the washable ones. Washable will come off on your hands. These have held up pretty well. I don't shuffle these a lot, but so far I haven't had any problems with this. Now I also use the Crayola markers on my Everyday Witch deck, and with this one, this was really my study deck. I shuffled this a lot, and it kind of held up pretty well. I mean, you can see that some of the edges are not great anymore, but this I did more of a mix of colors from the Crayola, and I did not put multiple coats on, and it did sort of fade over time. So, but overall, I'm really happy with these are the things that I used. The Border Mates, the Copic, the oil markers, and the Crayola. And I think they all worked well. And I have to say, I had a lot of fun modifying my decks. And if you haven't tried it yet, go for it.